Top 5 Tech News. 1. Sci-fi thriller Fort Solis arrives on PlayStation 5, PC and Mac on August 22. If you're a fan of psychological horror, you should mark August 22 on your calendar. That's when an intriguing new game called Fort Solis arrives. Developer Fallen Leaf describes its debut as a psychological sci-fi thriller. The game casts players as Jack Leary, an engineer sent to investigate a remote mining base on Mars. Roger Clark, best known for his role as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2, voices Leary, with Tori Baker, The Last of Us, Death Stranding, and Julia Brown, The Last Kingdom, World on Fire, rounding out the cast. Watching the trailer for Fort Solis, you might get the sense Fallen Leaf was inspired by Dead Space, but the studio says it was most directly influenced by narrative titles like Firewatch and Until Dawn. Fallen Leaf notes there are no camera cuts or loading screens to break up the game's story, which can be binged in one intense session. If nothing else, Fort Solis should be a technical showcase. Alongside Layers of Fear, it's one of the first Unreal Engine 5 games to arrive since Epic first teased the tech back in 2020. Fort Solis will be available on PlayStation 5, PC, via Steam and the Epic Games Store, and Mac. 2. The best Nintendo Switch OLED accessories for 2023. It's been a year and change since the release of the enhanced Nintendo Switch OLED model, with its larger 7-inch screen, longer battery life and some much-needed design tweaks. While it's not a must-have upgrade from the original, it is the best choice for first-time Switch buyers. But whether you're a newcomer to the system or upgrading from the 5-year-old first-gen model, you'll want to make the most of your $350 investment with a few well-chosen Switch OLED accessories. We've outlined our favorites below. SanDisk Micro SD Card. With only 64 GB of onboard storage, you're going to want to get a micro SD for your Switch OLED to store downloaded games, save files and screenshots. And with the redesigned slot, it's easier than ever to put it in or take it out of the system, too. You can use pretty much any micro SD card with your Nintendo Switch, but the Nintendo-branded ones from SanDisk are solid, and you can get a 256 GB model at a pretty affordable rate right now. They've been specifically tested with the system so you know they'll work seamlessly. 3. Lithium-ion battery creator John Goodenough dies at 100. One of the most influential scientists in technology has passed away. The University of Texas at Austin has confirmed that Dr. John Goodenough, widely credited as the creator of the lithium-ion battery, has died at the age of 100. While you might not have heard of him, he's effectively responsible for making cell phones, laptops and electric vehicles practical. Researchers had been exploring lithium batteries before. Dr. M. Stanley Whittingham, for instance, produced a design combining lithium with titanium disulfide. However, the New York Times notes it was Goodenough who achieved a major breakthrough in 1980 while at the University of Oxford. He made a cathode with layers of lithium and cobalt oxide that produced a stronger voltage while greatly improving safety. It had much more capacity than previous batteries, such as lead acid, used in cars, and nickel-cadmium, found in many portable electronics. 4. Autopia's Cord e-bike is a little overkill for a city ride, and that's okay. Autopia may be a relatively new name in the e-bike world, but it makes a strong first impression. With its 4G, GPS, mmWave sensors and even light projection turn indicators, the Carbon 1 felt like the Inspector Gadget of two-wheeled travel, but its exotic design and road bike leanings meant it wasn't for everyone. The company's second bike, the Cord, $1,799, has a much less divisive aesthetic and, unlike its sibling, practicalities like gears and a more upright, and city-friendly, ride. Importantly, the Cord contains all the wireless connectivity of the Carbon 1 at a cheaper price, possibly making it a more compelling package overall. The Cord feels like Autopia's attempt at a stylish city bike in the vague style of cowboy or Van Moof. The Cord is apparently inspired by pianos, with its black and white colorway and the melodic notes that play when you cycle through the power modes. At 46 pounds, 21 kilograms, it's noticeably heavier than the Carbon 1, 33 pounds, 15 kilograms, but it's on par with other models in the same category. The motor is a pretty straightforward 350W hub powered by a removable 360 watt-hours battery. Top assisted speed is 20 miles per hour over 4 modes: Eco, Comfort, Sport and Turbo. The maximum range is an estimated 75 miles, but that will obviously depend on how much assistance you use. As a Class 1 e-bike, there's no throttle mode here. Instead, there's a turbo mode with barely any need to pedal to get you up to that maximum speed. As mentioned, the Cord comes with an 8-speed Shimano gear system which, combined with the assistance modes, make for a flexible ride in terms of speed and effort. The more interesting features with Autopia bikes come from its connectivity: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS and 4G. Combined with an accelerometer and a gyroscope, the Cord has a surprising amount of situational awareness, which I'll get to later. Oh, you can also speak to the bike to change settings and use it as a Bluetooth speaker as you ride while receiving visual directions on the dot matrix screen contained in the SmartBox bike computer. 5. Qualcomm introduces new Snapdragon 4 Gen 2 chipsets for budget-friendly phones. Qualcomm just revealed its new budget-friendly mobile chipset, Snapdragon 4 Gen 2. This refresh brings plenty of improvements that will kick lower-tier smartphones up a notch. The platform is designed for excellent battery life, with the company promising all-day use. Qualcomm also promises fast CPU speeds, 5G connectivity and the potential for upgraded visuals via integrated cameras. The chips feature the proprietary Qualcomm Cryo CPU, with peak speeds up to 2.2 GHz, which is a slight increase over the previous generation. Qualcomm's latest and greatest also boasts quick charging technology, with the company stating that you get a 50% charge in just 15 minutes at the plug. The platform offers support for modern FHD Plus displays with frame rates up to 120 FPS. Snapdragon 4 Gen 2 also allows for some serious camera upgrades, like electronic image stabilization, faster autofocus, enhanced blur reduction and more. The chipset even provides multi-camera temporal filtering, MCTF, for drastic reduction in noise when making videos. Of course, this is a modern product announced in the year 2023, so there's gonna be a focus on AI. This comes in the form of more camera upgrades, with AI-based lighting adjustments for snapping photos in dim environments and an AI-enhanced background noise removal tool. As for connectivity, there's the proprietary X61 5GB modern RF system that promises blazing fast speeds with increased network and frequency support. These chips aren't in budget-friendly smartphones yet, but they'll start showing up later in the year. OEM brands like Redmi and Vivo have already pledged to begin adding the chipset to their lineups.